Hello and thank you for joining us on ERi-TV. This is English news broadcast live from the headquarters in Asmara at exactly 10:30 p.m. First, the top stories. Efforts made to develop capacity of women in the southern region. School material support to students. Mine explosion in northern Turkey kills 40 people. Series of earthquake rattle Hawaii amid Mauna Loa volcano unrest. The National Union of Eritrean Women branch in the southern region organized meeting with government workers in ERi subzone, as well as ERA administrators and managing directors, focusing on developing the overall capacity of women. Mrs. Sanait Aforki, head of the union branch, said that the union is exerting strong effort to develop the overall capacity of women with a view to enable them play due role in the implementation of the program of the union. Mrs. Sanait indicating that the union is working with partners to develop understanding of women on law with a view to enable them face the challenge they encounter, called for integrated effort to control underage marriages that are negatively affecting the development of women, indicating that the number of women ERA administrators and managing directors has reached to 90%, and that attests to the strong participation of women in the national affairs. Mrs. Sanait called on the elected women to serve the people that elected them diligently and with commitment. Mr. Habtai Tesfazgi, administrator of the subzone, on his part, commending the strong participation of women in the subzone in all sectors, expressed readiness of the subzonal administration to stand alongside the endeavors of the union branch. The Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branches in the subzones of Mandafara, Maimene, and Nafa extended school materials to disadvantaged students in their areas. Mr. Abraham Gabrihiwat, head of the branch office in Mandafara subzone, said that support was extended to 150 students that were identified by the administrative areas in the subzone. Mr. Abraham further noted that 3 disadvantaged families in the subzone have been rehabilitated with 100,000 nafa each, and preparation is being conducted to rehabilitate 6 more disadvantaged families. Similarly, a school material has been extended to 95 children of martyrs and disadvantaged students in Maimene subzone. In the same vein, school materials has also been extended to 100 disadvantaged students in Nafa subzone. Mr. Mohammed Fikak, head of the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch office in the subzone, called on beneficiary students to concentrate on their education and become competitive students. Government employees in Barantu subzone voluntarily donated 116 units of blood on 14th October. Mr. Tasfai Take, secretary of the National Association Voluntary Blood Donors branch in the subzone, said that owing to the sustainable awareness raising program carried out, the number of voluntary blood donors is increasing from time to time. The participants of the program, on their part, explaining that they get spiritual satisfaction for contributing blood to save lives with their renewable blood, expressed conviction to continue their contribution. The National Association of Voluntary Blood Donors branch is exerting strong effort to develop the number of voluntary blood donors in the subzone. We will be back with international news after a short break. Stay tuned. An explosion inside a coal mine in northern Turkey killed at least 40 people. Turkish officials said while rescuers were trying to bring dozens of others trapped inside the mine to the surface. The blast occurred on Friday at the state-owned mine in the town of Amasra in the Black Sea coastal province of Bartın. Interior Minister Suleiman Soylu, who traveled to Al Masra to coordinate the rescue operation, said yesterday that 40 miners were confirmed dead. 11 were injured and hospitalized, while 58 others managed to get out of the mine on their own or were rescued unharmed. The status of the remaining miners was unclear. Energy Minister Fatih Don Mez, who also went to Al Masra after the blast, said a preliminary assessment indicated the explosion was likely caused by fire dam, a reference to flammable gas found in coal mines. Several rescue teams were dispatched to the area, including from neighboring province. Turkish Disaster Management Agency said Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan would cancel all his other arrangements and fly to scene of the accident. The explosion occurred 300 meters below the entrance of the mine at around 15:15 GMT. This is according to the Bartın Governor's Office. Earlier, Turkish mining workers union attributed the blast to the build-up of methane gas, but other officials said it was premature to draw conclusion about the cause of the accident. The president said that their hope is that the loss of life will not increase further, that miners will be found alive. A magnitude of 5.0 earthquake was the strongest of all series of tremblers that have struck Hawaii's Mauna Loa, the largest active volcano on the planet, which scientists say is a state of heightened unrest. A series of earthquakes on Friday started with a 4.6 magnitude earthquake 24 seconds before the larger 5.0 earthquake, the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory said in a statement issued by the United States Geological Survey. The two larger earthquakes were reported by hundreds of people from the island of Hawaii and fell to a lesser extent across the entire state of Hawaii. The observatory said shaking from the larger earthquakes may have been strong enough to do minor local damage, especially to older buildings. It said earthquakes have preceded previous eruption of Mauna Loa, though they have generally been larger than the quake experienced on Friday. The observatory said there has been no immediate effect on the continuing unrest beneath Mauna Loa summit, which remains elevated at levels similar to the past week. The observatory added. Hawaii Country Mayor Mitch Roth said there were no immediate reports of major damage or injuries. However, there was some minor damage in the town of Pahala, but he was not able to immediately provide details. Aftershocks could continue for several days to possibly weeks and may be larger enough to be felt. Scientists at the observatory are monitoring Mauna Loa closely for changes. And now we will have a quick review of the top stars. Efforts made to develop capacity of women in the southern region. School material support to students. Mine explosion in northern Turkey kills 40 people. Series of earthquake rattle Hawaii amid Mauna Loa volcano unrest. That was all with the news for tonight. Thank you for being with us.